Hi, I'm Katie Datar. Thanks for joining me for Fringe Benefits, where you are invited to travel along as we discover great day trips found just on the outskirts of U.S. cities. In this episode, we're doing things a bit differently as we'll be revisiting some of our favorite locations. So join me now as we dig deeper into Buffalo, Hartford, Louisville, and Cleveland and find even more intriguing destinations on the Fringe.
I'm going to meet you in a faraway land. I'm going to meet you. I'm going to meet you. I'm going to meet you no matter where you are.
In our travels, we've explored Western New York State, focusing on Buffalo and Rochester. This is an area rich with outdoor and cultural activities and fun waterfront recreation to enjoy. In Season 1, we explored the Buffalo region's architectural heritage downtown and at Frank Lloyd Wright's Grey Cliff, perched on the shore of Lake Erie. We also warmed up in winter at the city's glorious botanical garden and then hit the slopes in the charming resort town of Ellicottville, south of the city. In Season 2, we explored my home city of Rochester, learning about Kodak founder George Eastman and exploring the famous Erie Canal. Today, we're heading to another one of my favorite Western New York spots, Genesee Country Village and Museum. Located between Buffalo and Rochester in the tiny hamlet of Mumford, New York, this gem of a living history museum will transport you to the 19th century. I'm visiting in October for the annual Agricultural Fair Weekend, a celebration of the season and the region. Local farmers come to show off their produce and livestock. Give yourself the whole day to explore this village of more than 60 historic buildings and meet the costume guides to hear all about life in 19th century Western New York State, which at the time was very much considered the frontier. There's lots to explore as you make your way through this recreated village. There's a tinsmith, churches, estate homes, and a rustic pioneer farm, which even has a few friendly animals to meet.
How's that? Good?
One of my favorite buildings is Hosmer's Inn. The structure, like most here at the museum, was moved from the local area and restored to its original condition. Today, the staff is preparing a traditional German meal, potato pancakes and bratwurst. It's a real treat to sample the foods made over the open hearth in the lower level kitchen, just like they would have been made for guests in 1818. And what would go better with this meal than the staple beverage of the time? Beer. It's now being brewed right here at the village in their historic brewery. The brew house represents one that would have been in operation in nearby Geneva, New York.
So in the 19th century, beer was definitely the beverage of choice. It was a welcome supplement to the basic diet. Here at the museum, the Greaves Brewery is the only operational historic brewery in the entire country. This is my friend Brian, and he's going to be showing me the ropes. So let's go check it out, Brian.
Let's go inside.
Great.
Let's go upstairs, Katie, and get a look at where the brewing actually all starts.
Awesome.
The water pump that begins everything is right over here in the corner. And back at the Greaves Brewery, when it was in Geneva, they pumped water directly up from Seneca Lake into the brew kettle.
Really?
We can't do that here, obviously, but the pump still works, and you're welcome to give your hand at it and see if you
let
get
me
some
give it a
water up
try.
here.
Oh, it's
It's work.
I gotta give that some muscle. So this water's coming from the basement, you said?
It is. It's a cistern in the basement that we have that brings the water up 3 floors. So it's some work to bring that column of water all the way up here.
Yeah. So how many pumps would this have taken, Brian, to fill up?
My brewer's telling me about 1,274 pumps to
my
fill
goodness.
this kettle with that pump. I think we're almost full.
So we got all our water in the kettle, and then what's happening now?
There's a big firebox down below this kettle.
Yeah.
This can heat this water up to about 170 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the ideal temperature for doing the mashing of the grain that we have. It's a German-style kettle, which means in order to move liquid around, we have to use this dipper to do that. So when the water's ready, we're going to dip in here, pick up that hot water, come over here to our trough, and carefully pour that water right down here into the first container we're going to use, our mash tun, right over there.
There's a lot of physical labor involved with this, yeah?
There is.
Yeah.
It keeps you fit during the course of the season.
Yeah, so what's the next step?
Well, we have to grind up the grain,
Okay.
mill the grain, before we can actually use that in the process.